Now we're going to get down there. Ah, there you are, lurking again in the woods. Behind us, down there, we have an extremely low river. I have a couple of worms, the ratty fly rod there, and almost no water to play with. But it is that time of year now where suin might be running. The trout might have woken up a little bit, although the river has been birded constantly since before March, so I'm not expecting too much. But yeah, got an hour, sun's out, let's have at it. Toodle piddle. We'll start here. We fished this before, and we'll just fish up. If there's any suin at all, they'll be up around the corner in the top pool, but maybe there'll be a trout on the way, who knows. Perhaps the teeny tiny worms are fitting for this sort of conditions, because it is wildly low. But lots of rain forecast this week, so it could change. And the other thing you've got to think of, big tides, and suin and salmon like to run before the rain. They don't necessarily bother waiting for the flood. A proportion of them will go anyway. So they might have already come up. Right, let's see. It is so low and clear, it's ridiculous. But this is the only hour I've got, so let's have a bash. We might meet something. The river is definitely bare bones. I'm sure last time we fished, all of this was underwater. And hopefully next week it'll be underwater with brown water, and we'll get some fishing done. Right now I couldn't even say for certainty, with any certainty at all, whether there's any fish here or not. It's like I say, the birds have been here hunting every single day for months. So what the hell's going to be left? Small river like this can't stand that much pressure. If you look down there, the rocks are covered in little caddis. Insects are good. I don't think there's much wrong with the water quality. You can see the water line on these rocks. That's where it would normally be. Somewhat deeper. Are you all working? Seems to be. Perfect dry fly water there, mate. Poppy water. Although last time we were here, there was nothing in it. So far, Mr. Mini Worm has received no attention. A week's worth of rain is certainly not going to do us any harm. Oh look, a mayfly. And if you saw him go past, huge bloody great thing. Just dropped on the water in front of us somewhere. You couldn't ask for a better little run than that. Doesn't seem to be anybody in it though. I would have thought there'd be a fish in there. So one more cast right over into the slack by the roots. Not a flicker of interest. I know a couple of nice fish have come out in the last couple of weeks, but I don't know how much effort has gone into catching those couple of fish. Certainly not like the other little stream where there are no mergansers and cormorants, and there are several fish in every tiny little pool. So a pool this size should have several fish in it minimum. Right, we're going to cut up to the big pool at the top. Didn't bring me specs, so I can't see anything in the water, but certainly looks like there's nothing to see. Anyway, look where the pea gravel is, where you get the big, in a big flood you get the suin up there. Look how high it is above the water now. Same there, look. It's ideal time to find lies for big floods. See behind this rock, look, is all big stuff. And shows you the flow. Well, I've hooked suin in there before. But the flow here would be too fast. That's why there's no small stuff, just big stones. You want to find the places where the small stuff drops out. Right there, look, you've got little tiny pea gravel. So that would be dead water. And I have hooked good suin right on the end of this rock, but not in flood conditions. Just dropping the bug off the point of the rock. Right, this pool's going to be a nightmare, isn't it? It's just dead still. I think, in all honesty, we're just going to have to climb up on the rocks past my tree here and creep up the bank and see if we can see anything at all. We don't actually need the Polaroids by looking at it, as that water is clear. And the light is just right to see. So we're going to creep very quietly along the rocks. So we've got high bank as a background behind us right there. So we're not really showing up too much. We'll just go a couple of steps at a time. And in all honesty, sad as it is to keep on about it, if this was the 70s and 80s, you'd be able to see a load of trout from this vantage point. And all I'm seeing is completely empty water. I'm not seeing any fish spooked and darting off from underneath the feet here. Not seeing any fish close to the bottom. Not seeing any fish mid-water or top water waiting for flies. Just empty stones. Nothing and nobody. Someone's been dumping glass over the top, look. Got the allotments, really nice of them. See, somewhere along the edge of these, all the weedy stuff down here is on bedrock. And then there's a drop off. Somewhere along that edge you'd think there'd be fish. Run a worm through it for the hell of it, but I don't think there's anyone at home. Look. Run that down the edge, yeah. down the middle. Snag. Let's go up, level with the snag. There we're off. De-snag yourself quietly, look, without disturbing the rest of the pool. Out in the middle again. For any sue in here, this would be a good spot here. And I'd have thought if there's any trout left, this is where they're going to be, in this top section. Good to have a look at it in low water though, so you know what's happening when it's brown and belting through. You know what the bottom's like. Did I just hear a fish jump? I heard something. Maybe there's somebody at home and it's top bit. There's absolutely no reason to think that any trout here would ignore this little worm as it goes past. Experience tells me that when you're up on these rocks, the fish down there just take no notice of you. So 99% sure we haven't spooked any fish that are here. Let's run down the edge then. So there's absolutely no reason why we shouldn't expect a take. Let's try over the far side. Plenty of depth there. Right, now we're going to get down there. Shit! We're definitely going to get down there. We're going to get down there very quickly and upside down. Whew. I think my worm box might have died. I think I've released the worms into my pocket. Without a doubt. Right. We have hooks. We have a ball of worms in the pocket. Right, what are we going to do with these worms? I really don't know. What if we're all still working, so lead shot, we're going to be needing them. What if we put the worms safe under this piece of moss, like so? Hat soaking. everything seems to work. There's the culprit. Look, I stepped on that rock there. It was wedged in there. He wasn't actually wedged. And I've lost my worm. Right. Let's grab me a worm. Sod it, let's grab two. Double worming. Right, you lot stay there. Okay. So, let's go over there. That's what happens, see, when you think you've heard a trout jump, and you get all excited, and you don't pay attention to what the fuck you're doing. Well, did the worms do it so they can go free? Also plausible. I think one of the worms got out of the box. He went down and greased that rock. So I would fall over and crush the worm box, and then they'd all run away like the Great Escape. Little swines. Swines they are, swines. Anyway, this pool always holds fish, and now it doesn't. In fact, this pool's always been a very, very good pool. Whatever method you're on, it's always producing. And now there's nobody here. Now I know the water quality is good because one of our lads has got water quality testing kits and he's doing it on a regular basis here and there. Good for him, and everything seems to be pretty fine. Insect life is phenomenal, so they're always a good, especially mayflies, they're a really good indicator of bad water. The algae growth is minimal compared to most years, so that suggests things are pretty good. And there are no fish. What we do have in abundance are mergansers and cormorants. And like I say, do the maths. Mergansers need, I think, 5 or 6 4-inch fish every day to survive. Cormorants, of course, need a lot more because they're much bigger. So if they are here every single day, just do the maths. Because there's a pair of mergs on this stretch. So that's 2. And every mile or so there's another pair. Then we've got cormorants coming through in the mornings. All our herons seem to be missing. Kingfishers also missing, they just can't compete. But we haven't been out very long. Conditions are a bit, okay, really, for upstream worm, nothing wrong with it. But we've seen no sign of anything, apart from slippery rock. So I think I'm just going to call it. I don't see any point in going any further. We could go up there further, but we've fished a couple of pools here, we've fished a big pool there. They've normally got fish in them. In fact, this is the first season when they're not producing at all. And it's all a bit worrying. So, ta-ta for now. Hopefully it'll pour down a rain and the suing and salmon will show up. Chin chin.